Langford Building A was built in 1962 and was designed by architecture firm HOK Architects. In 1978, the building joined Langford Architecture Center, the location of Langford Buildings B and C. Building A was built on the former space of a museum on campus, located in the Serum Laboratory building, which until 1965 housed fossils discovered near the Brazos River, along with an Egyptian mummy. Langford Building A is named for Ernest Langford, a member of the class of 1913 at Texas A&M University. Langford was the head of the university's architecture department from 1929 to 1956. Known as the father of College Station, Langford helped the city become incorporated in 1938 and served as mayor from 1942 to 1956. The architecture department at Texas A&M University grew from 3 graduates in its first class to 1,900 current students. Langford Building A contains computer labs, studios, classrooms, and a coffee shop, while its interior walls are covered with projects. HOK Architects is an architectural and engineering company employing over 1,700 people over 3 continents. The company maintains expertise in areas including education, science and technology, and residential. The company performs services not only architectural but also in relation to engineering, space management, and interior design. HOK Architects was founded in 1955 when George Helmuth, Gil Obata, and George Casaubon started an architectural firm in St. Louis, Missouri. While working for the firm Smith, Hinchman & Grills, George Helmuth developed a blueprint for a successful architectural and engineering firm. Some of the concepts contained within this blueprint include a firm's need to work with large international clients as well as specialize in design areas, its need to work on a variety of buildings to minimize damage to a firm in the case of a shift in demand, and its need to work in a variety of locations. Gil Obata also believed that buildings should be designed around people and for people. Some of HOK Architects' previous projects include the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, the National Air and Space Museum, and the company Apple's campus in Cupertino.
Despite being so large, the Langford is actually very well lit due to its many light sources. For instance, many spherical lamps line the walls, and artistic lamps hang from the ceiling, providing a more white and bright light. And lastly, of course, are the skylights, responsible for providing majority of the soft lighting, given off by the indirect sunlight. This is not unlike Renzo Piano's light wells. In the same way, the Langford skylights have windows that face northwards and then a reflective background that redirects the sunlight into the building. Classrooms and workshops located farther from the main atrium where the skylights are utilize large windows and indirect artificial lighting. According to A&M's College of Architecture, the Langford building was designed by Jack Yardley, a former student of the academy, and then built by a Dallas firm known as HKS in 1977. In terms of materials, this rectilinear building seems almost entirely comprised of concrete and is only separated by glazing and empty space. The plain concrete and its functions are not hidden from the public as with most buildings. Instead, it is celebrated throughout the building and even adorns spaces that are not structurally important. It is this use of plain concrete that connects the Langford Architecture building to a branch of modernist architecture known as brutalist ideology, which according to Pan Ali of whitewalls.ch is the idea that nothing is tidied up or kept hidden beneath the mask. In other words, the materials responsible for holding up the building are also what decorate it. Other than concrete, materials such as steel and glass are also celebrated on areas such as the bridge. However, I was personally relieved to find a beautiful piece of curvilinear wooden art on the first level. It certainly stood out among its concrete environment.
Langford Architecture Building is near the main entrance to Texas A&M University. As one drives in from Texas Avenue to New Main Drive, one passes the sprawling golf course and is met by a spacious, well-kept lawn leading to the pillars of the Jack K. Williams Administration Building. This building, unlike the Langford Building, was designed in 1932 in the Classical Revival style. On the other side of the Administration Building is the Architecture Quad, which is flanked on all 4 sides by towering buildings: the Classical Williams Administration Building, the Eller Oceanography and Meteorology Building, the newly built Liberal Arts and Humanities Building, and of course the Langford Building. Langford Building's form is very different stylistically from many of the other surrounding buildings. For example, the decorative artwork on the facade of the administration building, like the gargoyle-like faces of lions, cows, and men, were clearly inspired by an older period of architecture. Similarly, the nearby Scots Hall's Baroque ironwork facade was classically inspired. Langford, however, is clearly rooted in modern architecture. A striking feature of A&M is how tradition is symbolically intermingled with progress, and the juxtaposition of Langford and the Williams Administration Building shows this mixture and harmony. The Langford Architecture Building is massive. Indeed, it seems like it was hewn from a mountain rather than a normal building. The Langford's use of concrete on the facade, and also its use of phenomenal transparency, make this building seem more massive than it already is. As one walks toward the building, one sees a bridge connecting the lawn to the main entrance. From a distance, over the concrete railing, one can observe that the building descends underneath ground level. However, it is not readily apparent how far it goes down underneath. 1 story, 2 stories? This ambiguity draws in an observer. The ceiling of the entrance and front lobby are low, maybe 10 feet. The function of the lobby is to house the administrative offices of the department and the waiting areas for them. Then, as one ventures out from the lobby to the rest of the building, the low plane of the ceiling fades out to a capacious atrium where all 4 floors can be seen at once. This is an unexpected change, and it is seamless because of the use of phenomenal transparency. The more personal areas for business and administrative tasks leads to an atrium that connects the areas for work and accomplishing tasks, the creative areas like design studios, computer labs, galleries, and classrooms. Indeed, the spacious atrium serves the psychological program of the building to inspire and facilitate contemplation as students and faculty move from one creative area to another. Just as the personal, smaller space of the lobby drifted seamlessly to an expansive view of all 4 floors of Langford, so likewise throughout the building, 2 different spaces flow into and out from it.